Oh, sorry. Was I loud in your ear? My man.
Well, let me turn my headphones down.
It was my man. It was my man.
See, now you can hear everything so all clear. You won't be singing and stuff.
I know.
Okay. All right. Oops. Welcome to Thoughts in the Glass podcast. I'm LaToya.
I'm Kendra.
And this is a weekly podcast where we discuss all things life, love, finances, whatever we want to talk about. We'll just welcome you into the group chat.
So grab your drink, sit back, and join us on this journey. We also have fun. It's comical. We bring it up all type of stuff. We go on tangents.
All the time.
And we hope you enjoy. So make sure you like, subscribe, and drop down in them comments and join the community.
So if you're new here, every week we do a drink of the night. So Kendra, what is our drink tonight?
So my mom has been going on cruises. And so one of the drinks that she really started to enjoy is a chocolate martini.
Okay.
And she raves about it, and she done made it in so many different variations. She got new recipe. I was like, Mom, let me get your recipe. She said, girl, I'm still trying to perfect it. So I got my own recipe. So this is our chocolate martini, which is a vodka-based martini. So you're going to do, and you could double this for two people, but I'm just going to do it for one. So 2 ounces of vodka, 2 ounces of your Bailey's Irish cream, and then 2 ounces of your chocolate liqueur. So the one that I found or use is the crème de cocoa, and you can find it in most of your liquor stores. Make sure you put it in a shaker with ice, shake it up really nice. Of course, you want to decorate your martini glass. So inside I just put a little bit of chocolate and then a little chocolate on top. Just throw it in the refrigerator, and then I shaved some Hershey's milk chocolate on top for my garnish. And there you have it. So cheers to the chocolate martini.
This is like the cutest one.
This is like if you're sitting at a bonfire or cozying up on a cold day with your man. I'm feeling that.
I like the decoration. I feel like this is the cutest drink we've had so far.
And I'm trying to, we're gonna spice it up more and more. We started to dip our took ourselves off the edge, and we dipping in our toes. Soon we're gonna be in there full swimming. So.
So if you noticed anything different, we've been taking y'all advice and trying to get better every week. We made a promise to ourselves that we would try to get better every week. And a lot of people was like, oh, you guys need to get better sound. So we got you better sound. Shout out to 3 Stars, 2 Bars podcast. They on a little bit of a hiatus right now, and they let us borrow their
Thanks, guys.
Their mic and their soundboard. So that's why our sound is sounding so much better today. If you have time after you finish watching us, go over to their page, check out their podcast. Like I said, they're taking a break, but they have about 3 years worth of content that you can get caught up on. So
yes.
Shout out to them.
So how was your week this week? What's been going
on? My week was pretty good. Or so far it's been pretty good. Over the weekend, I had game night with the family. We invited some folks over. That was super fun. We stayed up till I went to bed at midnight.
Okay.
My brother, my daughter, and my stepdaughter, they were up. I think my brother may have gone to bed shortly after me. My stepdaughter was up till like 3 a.m., which is really unlike her because
she was out here.
She could be a little introverted.
She was enjoying herself.
But she was having fun at game night, so that's what's up.
Oh, that's great.
That's what's up. So that was basically it. And then getting adjusted to the time change.
Let me tell you something. I didn't even know the time had changed. I went to Walmart, and then I'm just, first I woke up, I was like, I feel like I slept in. It's like, oh, usually I'm up.
But we lost the hour.
That's what I'm saying. This is my thinking, right? So I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my God, I really thought, oh my God, I slept in. Usually I'm about like 6. It was like 7:30. I said, oh, look at me.
Getting up early.
Getting up early. Like, no, sleeping in.
Oh, sleeping in.
So I was like, okay, well, I had to take Janae to school, to work, dropped her off at work. She was running a few minutes late. I was like, dang, Janae, you running late. So I took her, and I was like, okay, let me run to Walmart, go to Walmart, get in the car, not paying attention when I get in to take her to work. But when I leave Walmart, start the car, I look at the time and I see that it's 8, it was like 8:20. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I'm like, I think I was out longer than this, but maybe I'm tripping. Plugs up my phone and it say 9:20. I said, well, what the hell going on here? I said, not the time went back, and I had no idea.
You were running your errands.
I was just out. I said, oh, I'm about to stop for breakfast. Everybody's sleeping, and let me go to IHOP on my own. I went to IHOP. I'm like, nobody's here on a Sunday? Where are the people? Where are the people? So I go in. I'm talking to the lady, and I'm like, I didn't realize the time has changed. She said, I'm going to tell you what, I didn't know the time changed until you just told me. I said, you know what I think it is? Because with cell phones, it automatically changes.
Yeah.
You don't hear it on the radio. A lot of people not talking about it at work. Oh, just remember the time change, because it's like, most people's alarm from their phone, their Alexa or whatever. So it's nothing manually you have to do, except now just like in your car.
Yeah. I agree.
So then you end up looking like me, looking stupid at Walmart.
I feel like when the time change, I get a little bit of jet lag.
Okay.
Like my body, I don't know. I'm usually just so tired when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been an adjustment. So we'll see. Hopefully by the end of this week, it'll be kind of normal.
Right.
But I've been feeling that, like a little like, why am I so tired?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Your girl back up in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Child.
How's that going?
First of all, I love him.
Okay.
Like, he pushes you. And
This
it's
is
like,
your trainer.
They're my trainer. Shout out to Joe. Like,
Girl,
he pushes you.
Careful. They said the trainers be the ones.
Shout out to Joe. But no, so he pushes you. And it's a group activity. So we gotta go 3 nights a week. And I feel like going at night, I need other people. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm going to the gym at night by myself after work, we going there just to sit around. Because I'm tired. Yeah. I worked all day, stuff like that. So having someone already have the weight set up for you, already have your plan of what you're doing set for you, you don't have to think. And that's, I think in my life, I appreciate sometimes not having to think. So it's been going good. This is not on my.
Oh, that's not on your meal plan.
That's not on my meal plan. But I was,
Well, you have to tell him to work that in. Just let him know that like
this is a couple
times a week you gonna have a drink.
This is a part of my life,
and we need to work that in.
Because I told him, I was like, I wanted to have realistic goals for the lifestyle that I have, and he's like, but I'm gonna have you 40 pounds lighter in 4 months. But that's a lot. No, that's right. Of dedication.
That's 10 pounds a month.
That's a lot of dedication. And I'm willing to do it, but I can't. I don't want to. I want to make a lifestyle change and not a for the moment change. And if I'm pushed into something, it'll be just for the moment. Yeah. Because I'll end up, well, I've gotten to where I want to be. Now I can start adding this and adding, and then it kind of can spiral. If I already have those things incorporated into the lifestyle of what I want to change into, then I'll be fine. Yeah. And the other thing, girl, getting ready for freaking prom.
Oh yeah.
I'm over it.
Really?
And this is my first baby going to prom, and she's a girl, so you want to do all of the things. The prom dresses that she was looking at, talking about something made. This is not your wedding, baby.
I hope that you can convince her not to do too much, because I feel like I did too much. And then later on, especially now, so I did too much, and later on I found that there were like beautiful gowns I could have bought from Macy's.
Right. So that's what we ended up doing. We went to Windsor. She found 2 really nice dresses. The one that she's going to wear is the one that I prefer, but it was another one that she really liked. And so instead, I went against my own better judgment. It was like, we'll get both.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I'm like, there's no return policy.
Why? So why did you do that?
I'm like, where are you going to wear this other dress?
Oh, you can sell it. Like on
that's
Facebook
what I said. So I was
Marketplace.
like, either we could sell it, and she also was saying that she wanted to possibly wear it for her birthday. And started watching, or we've started binge watching Halo.
Oh, you really?
So my dad used to play the game. I used to watch them play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dee was like, he sent me something from Instagram of like a fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, well, he's interested in that. And I was like, well, this is something, I love, I'll binge watch a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, this would be something that we can watch together. And so we did, child. His fist be pumped. I'm like, you in the fight? Because when I hold his hand, it's all sweaty. I said, why your fist balled up? You jumping in? Yeah, you taking up? What's up? So
it's causing him anxiety to watch the fight scene.
Relax.
You want to get involved.
You're trying to get involved. No, sir. What you got going on? My God. So, but we've been watching that, and I try to not pass him, but I know him, and he'll, like, right now he's home with the baby. He'll be watching it because
I feel like in a relationship, that's a major, like, you can't watch the show. If we watching the show together,
right,
we watching the show together.
Right.
You can't watch it without me.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to explain. But the other thing is, he's pretty good because he's not a big TV watcher. I am more guilty of, I can just have something on, and because my imagination is pretty vivid, I can understand, like, or kind of see what's going on. So I'll be the one on my way, like, oh, I just want to finish this episode real quick. And next thing you know, it just keep rolling on. Yeah. So I have to be the one to be like, no, find something else to watch. So,
speaking of watching stuff, have you watched Love Is Blind?
I haven't. So what do I watch? I don't watch that. I listen to commentary on it.
Well, girl. So I got caught up over the weekend. I was not gonna watch it.
Okay.
Because I just felt like from last season, we getting to the point where it's messy. It's nothing but drama. My personal opinion is the first season of it was the most genuine, and people really came in with the mindset and the goal of we're wanting to make genuine connections.
Yeah.
Now that it's, popular, I feel like people are going in with the mindset of this, I can use this as a platform.
Right.
And so that just takes the interest out of it for me.
Got you.
But I was like, I saw people talking about it on social media.
Okay.
So I said, let me get caught up. Let me see what's going on. So I binged it over the weekend. And I believe the reunion will be tonight. I'm just, I don't like really anybody from the cast.
Okay.
The only people that I can even sort of kind of connect with is Jimmy, AD, and that's really it. Okay. That's really it. Oh, and I don't know this girl's name off the top of my head, but Jeremy's ex-fiance. I can't think of her name. I'll throw a picture in somewhere, but those are the only people that I can even kind of sort of connect with. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I know a lot of people have been giving Clay, AD's ex, I don't know what they are now, but a lot of people have been giving him a hard time because he basically said no at the altar.
Okay,
she
yes.
said yes.
So I saw that, and then she walked away with her family. Yeah. So that's been all over TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people are giving him a hard time, but I will say this. I commend him for not going into it knowing that he wasn't, because he could have stood up there and lied. He could have stood up there and said, yeah, I do, just to, I guess, appease everyone's opinions. And then they could be in a toxic marriage right now. Right.
Or divorced.
Or divorced, right? So I do commend him for, you know, saying no if he didn't feel like he was ready. The issue I have is you knew you wasn't ready. So why you embarrass that girl like that? I mean, you let her get so excited. You knew you weren't ready. And he had been dropping little Easter eggs about him not being ready basically from the time they went on the honeymoon.
Okay.
I don't know if maybe the cameras were on them 24/7 and he didn't have an opportunity to kind of maybe, like, if he didn't want to say it in front of the cameras, maybe he didn't have an opportunity to pull her to the side and say, look, I want to go on this journey. I want to have this experience with you, but I know I'm not ready for marriage. Because I think if you say that you're not going to get married, that ends, the cameras aren't going to follow you anymore. That ends the experience.
Right.
So I feel like there may have been a part of him that didn't want to end the experience. But wanted to, but knew he didn't want to get married also.
Right.
So you have to basically drag it out.
Yeah.
But I felt like, to me, I feel like AD she liked him and she really wanted things to work with him. I feel like she was reasonable. Okay. And he could have gone to her in some way, form, or fashion. He could have gone to her and been like, let's ride it out. But we both gonna say no at the end. Yeah. He could have figured out a way to get on that page with her. Right. I just felt like it was unnecessary embarrassment and unnecessary, you know, and maybe it was necessary. Maybe I'm giving him more credit. Maybe he didn't care that he hurt her feelings. He embarrassed her. Maybe he didn't care. Right. But if he did care, you could have taken a moment and got on the same page with her before publicly humiliating her. Yeah. And so apparently it's rumored that they're actually still together since that happened. If they are, I don't like that for her. I feel like she deserves so much more. And if he's not where he needs to be, and you know you're ready for marriage, you know you're ready for a relationship, why are you dealing with somebody that's telling you, I'm not where I need to be? Right. So anyway, so that's my thoughts on that. Okay.
Well, I might gotta get into it. You know, I'm willing to binge stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna watch it, I would say you don't. I would. It's not worth it to watch the interactions in the pods. To me, that it was boring to me. Okay. I would start watching from when they start doing the proposals. Okay. And then going from there to the honeymoon. I mean, the vacation. Yeah. And then preparing for the wedding and all of that. I did like, I was talking to my cousin about it, and she was like, AD was in everybody else's business and couldn't even, handle her own situation. That may be true, but AD was asking all the questions I wanted to ask. Right. With the one guy that ended up proposing to the white girl, you know, she came to him and was like, hey, you know, you're in a biracial relationship. Like, how is she going to be able to handle, you know, your culture, your background, the people in your family? Those were all valid questions. It may not have been her place to ask, but I damn sure wanted to know the answer. So I was glad that she did ask. And then I like when she confronted Sarah Ann, because Sarah Ann ended up trying to talk to, I believe his name is Jeremy. She shot her shot with Jeremy after he had already proposed to somebody. Gotcha. And so she just went to her and was like, you know, what made you think that was appropriate? And, you know, Sarah Ann's making all these excuses about we had something, and I just wanted to know if there was any, you know, if he left a window space open for me. And she's like, but he proposed to someone else. That's someone else's fiance.
And here you are.
Yeah. And so even if he did leave that window open, have enough respect for the choice that he made to not now insert yourself. Right. But child, and that was some mess too. But I wanted to know the answer to that question. Right. So I was glad she confronted her.
She was in the business.
Yeah, because I was like, girl, you asking all the right questions. So yeah, so I mean, you know, it's just a little, and I don't really be getting into reality TV, but you know what? I have FOMO. So when everybody's talking about something,
you got to know.
I'm like, okay, let me watch it, see what y'all talking about.
You know what? Thank God for TikTok and Instagram, because I'll find out that way.
That's true.
I'll watch the highlights. Give me the cliff notes.
So I do agree. I get a lot of it off of TikTok. Like I can get caught up there. But sometimes the way they present things and just cut clips of
it,
things.
depending on who it is, going to be in the light of how they want that other person.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I see what y'all been posting. Let me watch it
Yeah,
because I know how y'all are.
I get that.
You know
I get
what I
that.
mean?
I
Like
get that.
people, they try to make things. They try to put a spin on things.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
don't push that narrative.
Well, before I believe that narrative, let me find out for myself.
Right.
Let me get some more context to figure out what we're talking about.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
What else have you been watching?
I haven't really been watching too much. I am just trying to decide if I'm going to watch. I started watching a little bit of the, what's the doctor show?
I don't know, girl.
With Phaedra on there now, Dr. Jackie.
Oh, Married to Medicine?
Married to Medicine.
Okay, yeah.
So I started watching a little bit of that season. And so now they have the reunion. I used to be a faithful watcher of all the shows, especially with us. Because I started with Orange County. I was up in the Orange County. Because I was thinking I came out when I was back. I might have been having a baby or was pregnant with somebody. So that was a postpartum watch.
Yeah, like a maternity leave.
Yeah. Let me get up in here. What's the rerun? So I've been watching a little bit of it. And then also seeing the highlights. And I will say, and I hate, it has gotten to the point where a lot of these shows are not the same. Like, it's not making us look good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know that we're supposed to be looked like all the rest of the shows. And especially like when you have the New Yorks or the New Jerseys and they flipping tables and doing all the things. But you have this, I think this is my thing. You have this arrogance about yourself, but yet you just as ghetto. So make it make sense. You can't throw out because you went to school to be a doctor. The doctor and the education have nothing to do with the personality of the person. If you were a jackass, you were a jackass. Just because you have a doctor in front of it doesn't mean all of a sudden you Dr. Jackass. You're still Dr. Jackass. It's the same thing. And so I think these older women who are on these shows who want to have this certain type of status but still want to hang with the girls, when you still are searching for fame and you know what certain things you have to do for fame, that means you're holding to another master, if that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, it makes sense. So I was watching some of it, and some of the stuff I can agree, with some of the things that they were talking about with Quad and stuff like that. Sometimes I tell you what, Phaedra Parks is messy.
Is she?
Messy to the messicity.
But I feel like that makes good TV. People love the mess. They want the mess.
They want the mess. But I'm just like, I think for me, real life, I'm over that. Like, why does that? Maybe this is just a question for the masses of why does the mess make more or better TV than somebody really doing their job? Or if Dr. Jackie held her accountable for the comments that she made about Black women and faking or exaggerating our pain, which also falls into the narrative of how white society looks at us. Let's have those conversations.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be meaningful to the masses. I don't care that Quad done came up out of a casket. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, but this is what's going to affect me tomorrow when I got to take my 18-year-old daughter to the OBGYN just to get a checkup. I want to make sure that she's being treated right if she has any concerns. Let's talk about the real stuff.
But the problem is this. When shows that have all that mess get thousands and millions of views and people are watching it and talking about it and they're doing reaction shows and commentary podcasts and all of that, from a production standpoint, you have to look at the numbers. This is what people want.
Yeah, the numbers.
This is what people are responding to. Because you have remember they had that doctor talk show? What was it called?
I can't remember, but they had the panel of doctors. Yes.
That was a really good talk show.
Yeah.
I mean, they were giving out good information.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about that anymore.
Right.
And I think it may still be airing, but it's not as popular as some of these messy shows.
Yeah.
So it basically proves the point of we don't want
reality.
Yeah,
we want mess.
We want mess.
Yeah.
As a general public, we want mess.
Yeah. And I can take it to a certain extent, but then it kind of gets to the point where, okay, but that's now what I see is that is your representation of the Black community, because that's what they see. right? If you can come work with me and be like, oh, that's a totally different black person, but you can go see the Jocelyns who have millions and millions of views, but that's what you equate. This is who they are.
Yeah.
As if we're not singular people.
But that, to me, that's a bigger issue, right?
Yeah,
because
it's huge.
Not every culture experiences that. So, for example, just using Donald Trump as an example, when you look at how the way he does things, how he talks, the way he is, we don't see Donald Trump and then go to work and say, oh, because I have a white supervisor, you're going to act just like him. So that phenomenon that you're talking about, it applies to us as the black community, but it doesn't apply to other ethnic communities.
Exactly.
And so that is the bigger issue.
Yeah.
Why is it that when we do have some representation in public spaces, that becomes a spokesperson for
the entire community,
for the entire group, when that's not the case? In all ethnicities, we're not a monolith, right? You're going to have different personalities, different type of people.
Yeah.
In this society, they don't want to accept that black people are diverse. Then I don't know if that's a us problem. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if flooding the media with more positive images of black people, I don't know if that solves the problem.
Right.
We're feeding into what they're saying. If our response is, we're not going to show the diverse parts of us. We're not going to show the city girls. We're not going to show, the ghetto parts of us. We're not going to show the poor, the rich, the ratchet. We're not going to show all these parts. The only thing we want to put out are positive images. Then basically we reinforce that what you see in the media is us. Because even we're saying, we're putting these images out because we want you to think of all of us as this way. But that's not true. We're not all that way. Society is just going to have to start accepting that not every black person you meet is going to act like Jocelyn.
Right.
Not every black person you meet is going to act like Phaedra. Yeah. Not every black person you meet is going to act like Obama.
Right.
We're diverse, just like every other culture.
Right.
Just like every other ethnicity.
Yeah. Yes. Child, I just be tired sometimes.
Yeah, tired of seeing it.
It's just tired of seeing it. I'm like, girl, because then also sometimes it don't even make sense. Like sometimes it be so extreme that it's like, we know you doing that for TV.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be that, then be authentically that. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, but like what about the white Valley girls that give you so overly...
I say the same thing, but that's the thing. I say the same thing about that, but
there's a lane for that. They know that I'm doing this. I am being a character, and I'm doing this as this character for a reason. This is what... There's an audience that likes this. There's an audience that is going to connect with this. Yeah. And so now I'm overtly doing it to connect with that audience.
That's true.
The same could be said. Like, yeah, I'm not like this in everyday life, but when the cameras are on, I'm giving you overtly ratchet because I know that there's an audience that's going to connect with that.
People love it. People use it as their decompression time when they have had a hard day, but sometimes that's what we're looking at like, girl.
I agree with you. That's why it's hard for me to watch because I personally don't like it. But I just feel like it's hard for me to criticize it when I see it happening in other places and people aren't criticizing it in those other places.
Yeah. And I think I'm being critical to them because it is my culture.
Yeah, you're protective of it.
And then I'm also like, don't make it seem like that's how all girlfriend groups are either.
Right, yeah.
Like, you make it... if I'm growing up, right, and I'm seeing this, I would think this is how girlfriends are.
Yeah. And
that's not how girlfriends are. Like, I don't have this kind of dramatics in my regular life. And so a lot of times people don't think, you have to figure it out as you grow up. But for us, we didn't have as much social media. So whatever you watched on TV, that's your outlook on what you've seen. However, now my kids have TV, social media, and yes, everybody says you're supposed to talk to your children. They should learn at home first. But it's the same child that you'll say goes to school. Oh, they learn that from their little friends. Mm-hmm. You the mama. Yeah. So it's okay when it's the regular stuff at school that they see every day. You can do as much as you want of protecting your kids from seeing some of the crazy stuff that happens online and stuff like that. But there are other people who see it, and there are other people who digest it and feel like this is the way to go and how they should maybe be. And then, okay, now so your child acting like the girl from social media because her best friend is acting like that because they're allowed to see that. So it just becomes a open door for a lot of influence.
Yeah, but then would you say that let's use Phaedra as an example. Would you say that it's Phaedra's responsibility to basically model what females and females relationships are supposed to look like? Like that's I agree with you, but I also feel like that's putting a lot of responsibility on Married to Medicine.
I'm not. So what I'm saying is like,
or any of the shows like the Real Housewives or Love and Hip Hop, like that's putting a lot of responsibility on them. Yes, they are modeling something that we may not necessarily want our kids to imitate, but is it really their responsibility to be good role models?
It's not. I'm not. In their regular lives, there are a lot of things that they do that is very good role model-ish. Going to school to be a doctor, having your own businesses. Once you realize that your husband is not doing right, being able to have divorce and standing on your own too, and this, that, and the fourth. What I'm saying is, it's just like we already have such a small community of women, and I'm not saying that they have to show it, but it's like I wish there was a show or somewhere where the reality of real good friendships, not just a movie, where friendships are the Steel Magnolias or some of those movies, but for reality TV, where are the girlfriends that are real good girlfriends that's saying, hey, we putting this money together because we want to take a trip and we want to make sure that our bond is staying together, and not just because not something that has been written. Because when we put this staple that this is reality TV, the reality is what it portrays is that Black women don't know how to be friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like for our community, that is not the case. Yes, there are some instances where people have fallen out, things happen, but more often than not, especially at our big age, you have pretty much found the people that you're going to be friends with, and you have real good friendships. Like there are people that are encouraging to you. Something happens happens to someone in your family, I'm going to be there. I'm going to cook that dinner. Hey, let's go make, 7 days of meals so that person doesn't have to cook. Oh, you just had a baby. I got clothes. And so that's the real community. And a lot of times I think that it's just not seen as popular as them Black girls don't know how to be friends. So they talking back about it. You know what I'm saying? Talking about each other in their confessions and stuff like that. It's like, we have a bit of that, but more often than not, when you have your girlfriends, you go either hold them accountable, or when you move on, it's not a big production. And I think this is just all a production, which, I mean, it's a show. When it comes down to it, I hated to say reality TV because that shit don't be reality.
Yeah.
Quad only shows up because it's part of her contract. That's not reality. That's a contract. That's not reality.
Yeah.
So I guess my biggest issue is stop saying reality TV when all this is not reality. If I don't show up, I don't get paid. So that means this is a job. How I am sometimes at work is not my reality on the outside. It pays a bill, so I have to show up a certain way.
I agree. I think they could use a bit of a rebranding because it's not reality. It's more live action.
Change the live action TV on what we think y'all trying to see.
Or unscripted.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Unscripted, but put you all in a situation and we'll see how you respond.
Exactly.
Like
because some of those situations are set up as well.
This is a setup, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but child, we can go, look, tangent. We can go on and on.
I know.
This, but
I mean, good points were made.
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes, like I said, and I also think this comes with age too, because I was watching 11 hip hops and all of the things. I can't stand it now. Jayla had it on, and I'm like, girl, you can't find something else to watch. But I'm like, when I was 16, 17, 18, that's what I was watching. That's what was on. Now, also, it was the shock value because we had never seen some of this craziness.
Right.
Flav.
Right.
Who was kissing off the real world? You know, so I think we've talked about this before and gone down that tangent.
Somebody
but
was kissing on him because Flav got a
listen,
bunch of kids.
Flav got a gang of them.
Yeah.
So
apparently New York told who's that guy that does the light skinned guy with the curly hair that does all the interviews? Jason. New York alluded to Jason that Flavor had that thing.
I mean, sometimes
she said that thing was banging.
Sometimes that's what it be.
Dog.
Sometimes that's what it be. Because I'm gonna tell you,
if Flavor Flav pulled up with that thing, could you get past the face?
Hell no. I'm sorry. I don't care. Listen,
you gotta have some attraction first.
First of all, I got to still look at you and talk to you. Ugh.
But what if he putting it down?
He wouldn't have to have had the chance to put
you ain't even gonna get to find out.
I getting past that. I'm gonna tell you, I hate when people be like, oh, it's not about looks. I have to be there's no way you going to not be. You got to be attracted to the person.
A little bit, at least. A little bit.
There got to be
something
that you're attracted to. It ain't, oh my gosh. Because you have to, first of all, you see this person. Oh, the first thing you say, you don't say, oh, they got a good personality. You don't know if they have a good personality.
That's true.
There are attractive people that got trash personalities that make them look ugly. Mm-hmm. There are people that that are not attractive, but their personality is on one. And so you're like, oh, so you've now past that. To me, and again, this is just a show. He ain't even had a personality, in my opinion.
True.
To be, he didn't have what they call it, the riz. Mm-hmm. The riz.
So he wouldn't have got you.
Listen, Flavor who? Sir. And I ain't gonna hold you. I've had some ugly ones. But today, no, ma'am. The self-esteem is here. Okay?
Amen.
I can't do it. Okay?
Amen.
I have done the work.
Period.
I can't. So
that's wild.
That is so funny.
If you I also watched American Nightmare. So this one was wild. If y'all haven't had a chance to watch it, watch it.
Where is it on? What is it?
On Netflix.
Okay.
It's a documentary. Mm-hmm. Yo, I don't remember this story, so spoiler alert, even though it's really not any spoilers because it was a documentary. Mm-hmm. Basically, there was a couple who got attacked in the middle of the night. Somebody came in and blindfolded them, like while they were sleeping, woke them up out of their sleep, blindfolded both of them, and kidnapped the woman. Mm-hmm. Kidnapped the woman, held her for, I want to believe, almost a week, if not longer. Mm-hmm. It may have been longer than a week. I watched this not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, so all my details aren't fresh. So whatever, y'all, don't do me. But anyway, kidnapped her. Mm-hmm. So the boyfriend goes, the kidnapper kind of had put all these things into play to help him get away with the crime. Okay. So he basically set up a camera in their bedroom. Okay. He drugged them, first of all. So he woke them up in the middle of the night and was like, put these blindfolds on. They put the blindfolds on. Then he injected them with something, right? So it was like a sedative or whatever, right? So now, granted, somebody wake you up in the middle of the night and it's a stranger, you unoriented. So they both admitted, like, they didn't know what was going on. It was they basically said it felt like, SWAT team had busted into their house because it was bright lights in their eyes. They couldn't see anything. They heard a couple different voices, and they were told, put these blindfolds on. Mm-hmm. So they put the blindfolds on. They tie each other up. They were instructed to tie each other up. Mm-hmm. Guns were pointed at them. They're just like, we ain't know what the fuck was going on. Right? So they're thinking, let's cooperate so that we could basically get out of this alive. Yeah. So then they take the girl and they set up a camera in the bedroom, and they tell the guy, basically, you can't call the police. You can't do anything. They show him the camera set up in his bedroom, and they're like, we're watching you. And so they end up texting the guy basically throughout the day to kind of like basically confirm that they were watching him and just saying like, little shit that kind of scared a guy, right? So then they were like, we need you to wire this amount of money and da-da-da. So basically now they're holding the girl for ransom. So the guy calls his bank, tries to get the money, but he can't he doesn't have the money, but he's going to pull out a line of credit to try to get the money. He's trying to like, I'll do whatever. Like I want to save her. So he ends up not being able to get the money. And so he waits a couple more hours, and finally he's out of options. He's scared. He's thinking that they're gonna kill this girl because I don't have the money. He finally decides to take a risk and call the police because he's like, I know they're watching me through the camera, but I don't have any more options. Right. Calls the police. The police comes. They basically do a investigation. Try to get everything figured out. Come to find out, they find out that the camera is not really even hooked up to anything. So that was fake. But he believed it in the moment. Right. Not to mention, it took him about, I want to say 6 to 7 hours to completely come off the sedative that he'd been shot up with. So he's trying to figure things out, but also he has been drugged. So he don't have 100% of his brain. Right. And so then now the police start, putting everything together, and this story sounds so unbelievable, so outrageous that they don't believe him. Of course. And so now they're thinking, did you do something to her?
That'd be killing me.
So, and the guy's like, no, I didn't do anything to her. Like, he's fighting for his life in there. So he ends up getting a lawyer. He gets a lawyer. The lawyer tries to help him out, but basically everything he's saying, he basically has the proof to back it up. But the police are like, yeah, but it's proof that you provided. So you could have planned all of this. Right. So basically now the police are looking at him as a suspect. Then somebody has, I forget how they put 2 and 2 together, but one of the detectives on the case basically is like, oh, there's a movie that came out called Gone Girl, where a girl had faked her kidnapping and shows up and da-da-da. So they're like, maybe she did this on purpose. Maybe this is a Gone Girl case. So the girl does end up showing up. The kidnapper lets her go at her family's house about 2 to 3 hours drive from her boyfriend's house where she got kidnapped at. Shows up there. She calls the police first thing, but then she also now is, after being held captive for however long, now the police are basically attacking her. So now she calls the police thinking that's the right thing to do. Right. Now she's like, I don't want to talk to y'all anymore because y'all trying me. I'm telling y'all what happened and y'all making it seem like I did this on purpose. So she gets a lawyer, and the lawyers decide that it's not a good idea for either one of the boyfriend or the girlfriend to talk. Because basically the lawyers are like, we need for their stories to add up. Right. So if they don't have a chance to talk to each other, then they can't. I mean, they may, if this has all been planned, they may already have their stories together. Right. But let's go off the assumption that this wasn't planned, and let's see if their stories line up. Right. So their stories line up to a T. So now their lawyers are really fighting and trying to get the police to take this thing seriously, and the police, for whatever reason, don't take it seriously. Because that's the police. So, not to completely spoil the whole thing, but it ends up, there was another crime very similar to this one in another district. And when the police in that district took the crime very seriously, they're doing all this investigation, they're trying to figure it out. They have a suspect. When they do their research on the suspect, they find out about this crime. Because some of the things are very similar, like, in the middle of the night, the flashlights, all of that. So they're like, okay, well, let's reach out to them and let them know that we have a suspect with kind of like the same MO. Reach out to them. And basically the detective from the other district was like, when I reached out to them, they were like, oh yeah, we'll get back to you. This case, we're not really doing anything on this case because we think it was a setup, basically. And so the police in the other district are like, what? Like, how are y'all not taking this shit seriously? So they ended up putting the pieces together and finding the guy and, all of that. But Anyway, if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's a documentary. These things have already happened. So if you've heard about this case, then you know the outcome. But just watching the documentary and just getting all the little details and seeing like exactly how this thing went down and the negligence of, I believe it's San Bernardino maybe, or it may have been another city in California. I can't remember which one it was, but anyway, just seeing the negligence of the police officers. And the thing that really stood out to me the most is, a lot of times when women face like assault, sexual assault, things like that, they're not believed.
Yeah.
And so to me, this really kind of drove home that mentality of something has happened to me. And even the people that I think that are supposed to keep me safe don't believe me.
Right. And then don't apologize after they done did all this shit to you to further the trauma that you have.
Girl, it's crazy. So I know you don't like suspense. So
No, I don't.
But it really is not scary. And especially if you kind of do some research on the story before you watch it, it's no suspense.
But then my thing is, it then adds in, for me, as being Black, being a woman, it just adds in the shit that we already have to deal with.
Yeah.
And I have enough of that into my reality.
That's true. The other thing that I noticed about this is it was a white couple. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it kind of highlighted that if they do this to their women, how much more?
That's what I mean. I don't
have to endure?
I can listen, when I say a rabbit hole, I can go down one.
Yeah.
Call me Alice. Because I'll be down in the rabbit hole with the talking cats.
Yeah. So anyway, but it was definitely,
it sounds good though.
It was worth the watch.
It sounds good.
It was worth the watch. So that's what I've been watching.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about this good news story. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up. But I'll try. So basically, you may have seen this on Instagram, but the Providence College students surprised their campus security guard with a trip to Nigeria to see his family. Nice. Yeah, they raised funds. I want to say it was one of their sports teams. I don't know if it was basketball or what, but it was one of their sports teams. They had basically all came together, did a GoFundMe and raised the money. So the security guard that works on their campus, I guess he had mentioned that, he wanted to go to Nigeria to see his family. He hadn't seen him in a while. And I don't know how they may have just been talking to him in passing, or like it may have been something that he had mentioned several times. Yeah. And so I guess he had said this to the guys on the team, and they just decided on their own initiative that they wanted to do something nice for him. So they did a GoFundMe, saved up the money, and was able to gift this guy a trip to Nigeria to see his family.
That's wonderful.
It was super wholesome, so sweet. I feel like with all of the craziness going on, like we don't hear enough good news stories.
Or when we get good news stories and somebody want to come out of the blue and be like, they, this person a bad person because they did this to me. It's like, God damn.
Like we can't have nothing.
We can't have shiggity.
Well, I hope that nothing negative comes out about this. I just heard about it, so I don't know how old it is, but I kind of feel like give it time. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And find out that the security guard really don't have
a family. He got a whole wife at home and a wife and it just becomes it always unravels.
But even if it does come out that something was shady about this, it was a nice gesture.
They're intense.
And these are college students, so it also, to me, I found it endearing that the young people are
there's still some humanity out here.
Like they're not being.
Want to kind of switch gears a little bit and ask you a question. So, spring is coming. Spring is coming. Where's your? That's not the real song. Anyway, it's about Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is coming.
I didn't even know.
Where's her boyfriend?
Oh,
lonely. But anyway, but with the nice weather coming, what do you consider, or can you describe like your perfect day?
My perfect day. My perfect day, you know, I'm a social person. So my perfect day.
Out in the streets.
Yeah. But it would start with maybe a little morning meditation, a little yoga.
Okay.
And then from there, I want to get dressed up and go to brunch with friends.
Okay.
And after brunch, maybe I will go for a walk. Or like I definitely would want to be outside, especially if the weather's nice. I want to be outside. So then maybe after brunch, I'll do something like fun with my dog outside.
Yeah.
And then after that, I probably want to get some TV in, whether it be like watch a show or a movie. I definitely would want to connect with my husband. So maybe we could get together and like watch a movie or something. And have a really nice dinner. If I'm hungry, maybe if brunch was good, and I need dinner.
Yeah, like a little snack, a little niblet.
Yeah, something like that. And then a bath. And bed. I feel like my perfect day would be super simple.
Yeah.
No traffic, of course. No, like as long as there aren't any inconveniences, I feel like I could have a simple, perfect day.
The inconveniences I fully agree with. I think for me, it would be my main. Start off the morning with like cuddles.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
Hello.
That sounds like more than cuddling.
And then already like have a plan, like go.
My husband gonna be mad. I didn't even put that in my day.
That's in the top and the bottom. Okay, everything else just filler. You hear me? And then like getting dressed, having breakfast, like even if it's with the kids, like hanging out, the whole family hanging out. But my biggest thing is like there's no complaints. Nobody's like everybody wants the same thing to eat. They want to go to the same place. It's not. Well, I don't feel like having. It ain't a whole bunch of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I go to the store and the shoe that I'm looking for
is there,
and in my size, and on sale.
I like that.
So now we have a good dinner. The kids are super grateful and they're like, oh, this was great, thank you guys, then we go to like a lounge, not even a lounge, like a bar, just kind of have a couple of drinks, because I enjoy like our conversation and just kind of hanging out, being able to, Joshua going immediately to sleep when I get home, so that I could so that the kids can kind of chill. Everybody has like snacks. Jonathan's like, oh, I'm kind of tired, I'm just gonna lay down or play the game. But he's like super clean, and we go out for drinks, and I come back and then it's another little and it's sunny outside and it smells like spring. Okay. Nobody's cutting grass.
Okay.
It ain't that much pollen. We can have the windows down and it smells like fresh linen.
Okay. It sounds like you just want everybody to be on their best behavior.
Best fucking behavior.
It sounds
everybody's
like
on time.
The kids be getting on your nerves. That's what it's giving.
These are the conflicts that I go through. I get a phone call 7:45, 7:50 in the morning. Oh, this is Jonathan's vice principal calling because he got another referral, so he can't ride the bus for 2 days. The first referral was 1 day. Second referral now is 2 days. Running up and down the aisles, pushing people, talking to his friends. He got an assigned seat, ain't in his seat. Okay, so now I'm frustrated. Call his dad, let him know. At 11, 12 o'clock, I'm talking to my mom. She's like, oh, I'm going to try to be up at the school tomorrow for the awards ceremony. And I'm like, tomorrow he has an awards ceremony because he has honor roll. So now I got the phone call at 7 is he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Can't ride the bus.
Right.
But at 12, I'm looking to see, oh, he made honor roll. Something that he now needs to be celebrated for.
Oh, yeah.
So, sir, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, are you bored?
Maybe he's bored.
I said, are you bored? It's always a thing. Then I'm fussing with Jayla because she got all the answers, but not the grades. Then she like, oh, I brought my grade up. Okay. And so it's kind of like, I've done this, what you've now asked me to do, so I should get rewarded. And I'm like,
but you doing a bare minimum.
But it don't work like that. So yes, my perfect day is everybody just on their shit. On their shit and not talking. Leave the freak alone. I know now, and I always say this, I've created the monsters. I ain't gonna hold you. I created the monsters, but so we didn't really get to our like main topic. We've been just really catching up because we haven't even got a chance we haven't really had a chance to really chit chat and talk and stuff. But
we could do the Are You Here For It though.
Let's do the Are You Here For It. So if you were not married, single gal, out in these streets, living it up, brunching it up, and doing the things,
right?
Could you be a sugar baby?
I'd like to think I could.
Okay.
But then there's this part of me that's like, but I want to have my own. And if you, there's a little bit of rebellion in me that like, if you ask me, because from my understanding in a sugar baby, sugar daddy relationship, or just being a kept woman in general, my understanding is that this man is providing for every need, you know, financially, you know, I mean, I guess that's the big one, but I guess there are other things like, you know, sexually, whatever. They are a provider. They're providing everything.
You're at their beck and call.
That's how I perceive it.
Yes.
That if you're providing everything, I'm at your beck and call. So if you have a big event you want us to go to, I'm there. I'm available. I ain't got nothing else to do. So I can go to that big event. If you know, are on the golf course and somebody's wife shows up and I'm at home, you call me, hey, so-and-so brought their wife to the golf course, I need you to come. My understanding of the contract is that I would be obligated to come. The problem is I be wanting to do whatever the fuck I want to do. I may not want to come. And then if I don't show up, now you cutting off my resources. Or if I ain't acting right at the gala, now you cutting off my resources. And I just, that part of me, I don't know, she would be uneasy. There would be some unrest.
Okay.
Because
there's unrest in the castle.
I just think, and it could be the Libra in me, right? Like I have to have a certain level of freedom, a certain level of autonomy that I don't know if I could do it. And I get enjoyment out of, making money for myself. Like it gives, it's like it's a accomplishment for me.
Okay.
So while I think I see that lifestyle and I'd be like, oh, that would be so nice. I just don't know if I mentally have the mindset to really do it. Listen, if
you would have to have the right one for you.
I would have to have the right one for me. Like, you know me, you know how I am, you know what my expectations are out of this situation.
So you can't be sugar. Because that sounds a little bit, that's a mix.
I got too much demands.
You got a little too much salt within that sugar. I can't do it. Ma'am, I didn't say that about nothing. I don't care what you got going. I told you to be.
And see, that's the thing. Like, oh, I'm selling my candles. Fuck them candles. I want you to be here at this time doing this. I don't know if I could do that.
Hey, babe. Sign me up.
Really?
Yes. Because you know what I would find enjoyment out of? What? Because to me, that is me making my money. If I go to work for the man every day and I got to pay taxes, it would be still me going to work. To me, that would be a job.
Yeah.
And so the way I'm finessing, you want my company, hey, rent me and my homegirls this yacht. because I want to go on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're doing such and such. Oh, babe, I want to take you to such and such. Okay, well, my homegirl's in town. We would both like to. We all part. Listen,
well, then maybe you need to be a sugar baby then, because then I just eat off you.
Listen, I'm telling you,
where we going?
And then especially if, because I'm not going to be with someone or be around someone that I'm not comfortable with, right?
Mm-hmm,
so if it's someone that I am enjoying their company as well,
mm-hmm.
and he is doing, I can still figure out the things that I want to be interested in. I would still, whatever monies that I got, go into stocks. Hey, if I'm having a family event, this is when I'm available. I have a family event coming up. I'm not going to not live my life, because I don't see a lot of them not living their lives. They still hang out. They still go with their family. They still go with friends. Because a lot of times most of these millionaires, they have their schedule. They have their own schedule. They want what they want when they want it. But more often than not, you're not doing anything for a extended amount of time. So you have all week to do the things that you want to do. You may.
But what if like the one day that the yacht has been rented, you got the girls, we all ready to go, and he's like, "Hey, babe, I'm just found out I got a big thing I need to go to. I want you with me," and it's at the same time that we're supposed to be doing our thing.
He would have already. See, most men that think are like that, they've already planned their engagement.
No, but sometimes they have like last minute stuff they have to do.
Listen, then we going, and I'm gonna say, ladies, enjoy because I'm
true. Okay,
have
okay.
a good time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see y'all when y'all get back. Here goes some money. The yacht is paid for.
So you would call him and be like, "Well, the girl's supposed to be, so you need to stock up the bar because you impeding on our da da da." And
I'll be there.
Yeah,
and I'll be, and he gonna be like, "Babe, that's taken care of,
right?
Because you're showing up in the way that you're supposed. It's my job. Hey, ladies, I gotta go to work. Enjoy, and they gonna be like, go to work, girl. Go on. You'll be the first one. We'll see you when you get back. Fly down if you get a chance. Yeah, I already know what's going to happen. Everybody gonna be like, Kendra, did he need something? The first time I say, well, I don't feel like, we don't care what you feel like, though. Get your butt up. I'll drive you there. What's the address?
Yo,
let me put it in my ways. Make sure that we ain't getting no traffic.
If we out and your phone ringing, it's your man.
Pick it up.
I'm gonna be. Hey, is that him?
Kendra, your phone. Don't now. You about to go to the back. Take your phone with you, because if he call, you don't want to miss that call. Y'all gonna be the bosses.
You're absolutely right.
They're like, go to work. What are you doing? Oh, I'm not feeling well. Girl, if you don't go get you some vitamin, what is it?
Vitamin biloba?
No. You better get you some emergency.
What's
wrong with you? You're not feeling well. What you need me to do? Let me go call the people to get you an IV running or something. Because we can't miss no days. There is no vacation for you.
You're right.
I said, they're going to pimp me out to these people.
You're right. And now I could definitely be beneficial in that area. If you need somebody to hold you accountable, I can do that.
Going to be there. Girl, get up. Girl, up. Now I would have known the time had changed. Now, you know that time done changed. Get up. It ain't no lounging around. You got to be up. You know he waiting for you. My vacation is counting on you to do your job.
Oh, man. Yeah, definitely.
I think for me, I have been the everything in my family for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to think. I don't want to plan my day for me.
Really?
And I see money in my Cash App, and it's like, here goes some money. Thanks for last night. Go enjoy your day and go shopping.
Maybe I need to work on myself, because I feel like I would feel. It's like I can't allow somebody else to have that much control.
The only control that they have is what you allow them. If I know that I'm getting if there's a certain level of control you have to have over yourself, right? So if he's giving me $5,000 for the week, I need to be putting up some money for. I'm not spending the $5,000
right,
waiting for that next check. I need to be putting some money away. No, I'm not buying my own bag.
But not even monetary. Like when you were saying, like, plan my day for me. I feel like, don't plan my day for me.
Plan my day. Oh, baby, we going this week.
Because what if you say something that I don't want to do?
Because it's a lot of I don't want to do now that I'm not getting paid for.
I guess you're right.
If it's like I'm sending a car, we're going to lunch. I have this business meeting with the board, and they're going to be bringing their wives or whatever. I need you to be able to be there, kind of mingle, make me look good. I'm going. I'm going. Where's the caviar? I want to find things that I can do in the midst of being here, right? So if we're traveling a lot, I'm calling. What's her name? What's the people that do the language trainings and stuff?
Rosetta Stone?
Rosetta. Headphones on. Private jet on the Rosetta. I'm going to the things that I cannot do just now. All of those things I would be learning about stocks. I would be learning about his business to make myself more marketable in what he got going on.
Yeah.
So if we're out talking and he's bringing something up, or the person's wife is talking about something because she's in the know, and I can also back him up.
I think my problem is I want to be him.
And I'm going to learn how to be him.
No,
So,
I'm saying like I feel like I would want that now. Like, not to say that I want to be a sugar mama, but if I had it, I would. Like, I'm like, my mentality, if I really had it to where I felt super comfortable financially, I wouldn't mind being a sugar mama, honestly. I wouldn't mind having a dude he don't work, but he would have to be putting in that level of effort.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't work, but like, I'm getting educated on the things that you're into, so that when we're out around people, I can speak to the business.
That's the problem. Men don't be like that.
They don't. Not all of them.
Not all of them. They're not gonna be.
Them.
I am the one. I'm like, I want to learn what you're doing, and so that in my own private life or whatever I'm working on, I know how to move in stocks, and I know how to set up some things.
But just even like what you said, like if you're with him at a business meeting and the conversation is around whatever work they do, you can speak to it. You're not just sitting there looking pretty.
Right. Speak to it to make him look good, but be able to step back out to keep him forefronted. I'm all about that. I'm all about sitting there just being pretty too.
Yeah.
And eating on my shrimp.
I do totally agree with you. It depends on the type of man it is.
Yeah,
because
that too.
If he knows me, then he would be like, okay, she needs something for herself. Like, she can't just be my trophy wife. She got to have something going on, because I do have to have something going on. Even if it's charity work, like if he's like, look, I'm gonna take care of you financially. You don't got to worry about making money. Okay, cool. But then maybe I need to be a part of some type of charity where I just need to feel like I'm making a difference somewhere. Like, I can't just be your arm candy.
Well, you got to know how to play the game if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But I can do it.
Yeah.
Especially if I have learned all the things that I've learned now. Sign me up.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Okay.
Well, look, look, you come home. I know how to make a drink. Come home, have your little drink ready. I know how to cook. Have a meal. Shoot, cook something healthy. I'm in here.
Well, I'm married and she's not single, so we not open for any sugar daddies. But if the sugar daddies are out there, listen, we got some friends, we got some cousins, listen.
Jayla asked me, she's like, no, Mom. Now, what would you do if I was a sugar baby? I said, it should be the best. As long as you are comfortable with it, with what you have to do in that situation, because there are a lot of women out here that's giving it up and getting shit for it.
That's the thing. That's the main thing that I kind of think about. Like, it's a lot of women that are doing exactly what you said you would do, and they doing it for the nigga that want to be a rapper. Huh. And you ain't bringing no money.
You doing it for the nigga that's borrowing your car.
Right.
No.
No.
No. Shout out to my brother on Friday. He turned 40.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So, yeah, this was a wonderful episode. Amen. Another one in the books.
That drink must be kicking in.
It is, child.
You get a little silly now.
I am. This was good, though.
I had fun.
This was really good.
I had fun.
We had a good time. All right, so make sure you guys like, subscribe, and get down into the comments if there are other drinks that you guys want us to, or you want to learn how to make. or that are your signatures, or the things that you like, or things like that. Let me know.
Shout out to the people that have been putting their drink cocktail recommendations in the comments. We see them. We got a list. We got them on the list.
We got them down. We gonna make them. We gonna taste them, and yeah. So again, until next time, keep living, loving, and having a good time. And what we gonna do? Drink to that. Hello. All right.
I have to